And now, since we are quite huge group of the people, but we would like to meet each other and to understand who is in the room, we would like to have small breakout session activity in which we will be dividing you in smaller groups, and you will have more or less like 5 minutes or less, depending on how big groups Maria will be making. And we want to invite you to use this time to come together into smaller groups and to share like your name, your religion or spiritual affiliation. Where are you calling us from? Are you part of the CC, individual member, partner? Maybe you would like to join URI community in the future, so you come to learn something more about us, and also to share like what peace means to you. It can be in few words or in any way how you would like. So please allow everyone in these small groups to share like their name, affiliation, where they are calling from, and what peace means to them. And then after we come together, we will be sharing it a little bit in a bigger group. So we hope that you will have fun meeting some other colleagues in the breakout groups. And I hope, Maria, that you are ready to send us there. And if you find yourself in a group where you cannot speak in the language of your preference, then please let us know in the chat, and Maria will, I hope, to do her magic then to move you to another group where you will probably feel more comfortable. Does that sound okay with you, Maria?
It does. Thank you, Leila. And just one reminder that appreciation has been core to URI, and this has to do with deep listening. So when you are in the groups, allow each and every person to say the name and to express what peace means to them, and rotate so that everyone can bring a voice, that everyone brings the concept of peace, because we know even it's a generic word. For instance, for indigenous people, I learned the word peace doesn't exist because the community, the harmony in the community, the circle is peace. So they don't need to define it. So let's go to the room, have a good, appreciative conversation, and come back in 15 minutes. So this moment is just to respond, what is peace for you, very briefly. We will have time for other type of conversations and other type of questions.
Okay, thank you. Okay, peace, it's something that we should all work for, and that's all.
Thank you. That's great. So everyone is coming back. I know this was a little bit short, but it was just feeling the voices in the room and understanding that being part of URI, we are locally grounded and globally connected. So this small light that we are shining in our places, in Austria, for instance, I see Elizabeth, or in Brazil, or in Argentina, I see Rosalia, or in North America, in US, as I see UL, and I see people from Africa and from Asia and from around the world. This little light of mine is shining broadly, and we are locally grounded and globally connected. And this is URI, a network of people that desire peace, that work for peace. And we do that in very different ways. So now we are passing to Sarah, and she is letting us know how URI network is working or providing tools for us to be connected from our places around the world.
Thank you, Maria, and hello, everyone. Greetings of peace. My name is Sarah Oliver. For those of you who don't know me, I am the Global Youth and Learning Coordinator for URI, and I'm based in Cape Town, South Africa, where it is a beautiful sun-shining day, and we're moving into our spring and summer, and it's really lovely to have the warmth fueling this beautiful International Day of Peace community call celebration. And Maria and Leila just asked me to share a little bit about what some of the young people across the URI network have been up to this last month and a half almost. Since International Youth Day on August 12th, we have been participating in what we've called a URI Youth Month Challenge, which has been, the purpose of this challenge has really been to highlight daily actions that we can all take for peace, justice, and healing in our world. So as you all know, we're this global community of interfaith peace-building activists in so many different parts of the world. And there are many different things. As part of our purpose statement, we talk about daily interfaith cooperation. So what are those small daily actions that we can take? And we found through this youth challenge that there was such inspiration and power from knowing that here I am in Cape Town doing my action for peace, and whether it was having a meal with somebody from a different faith community or sharing a message against hate speech on social media. These daily actions, knowing that I was doing my action here and there was somebody in a different part of the world doing that action at the same time, really motivated us, and I think motivated the network and gave us a sense of what this network can be in terms of what URI can be and the power of a network like URI. And so I wanted to share with you a very short video. It's 2.5 minutes, which shows the highlights of the challenge, and also just some of the young people who have received recognition as URI Youth Champions for completing all the tasks of the challenge. And I know when you watch the video, the images do move quite quickly. So I just wanted to say that in the sense of, I don't expect you to see all the detail of everything, because we don't have a long time, but really just sharing this as a snapshot of some of the incredible and inspiring things that are happening across our network. And also, if you see somebody you know in this video, somebody from your region or a young person that's part of your cooperation circle, do reach out to them to connect and share your appreciation. I know we've got some of our youth champions on the call. Bombale is here from Uganda. Ziad was here. Bombale, give a wave. Let's have people see you. Nelly's here as well, also participated in the challenge. Angie participated in the challenge. So this is really just to share some of the good work that has been happening. So I'll share the video and then just say one brief thing as well afterwards. And Maria, if you could just give me a thumbs up when you can hear the sound. I'm hoping that it all runs smoothly. Let's see.
Yes, perfectly well.
There we go. So I invite you to just give a congratulatory wave or reaction to the incredible young people who have participated in our URI Youth Month Challenge. Those were just the few that managed to do all 4 weeks of challenges, but there were many others who participated throughout the month in 1 or 2 of the tasks as well. And really, as you can see, there are things that we can do every day. And so I really invite you to think about what your actions are in terms of a daily action that you can take for peace, justice, and healing as we celebrate this day of International Day of Peace. And just a huge thank you to everybody who made it possible in terms of this Youth Month Challenge. Many of you on this call have been involved in different ways. And to say that we will be putting together a publication, particularly of the letters that have been written. So the last week, the members of the challenge all wrote letters to a local leader or an international leader, or to Mother Earth as well, a letter calling for peace. And we are working on compiling a publication of these letters that can be shared and used as an advocacy tool as well, to say this is what young people are calling for in our world. As we know, there are many issues around the world that we need to be addressing, and I think young people in URI are paving the way and leading the way for making change happen. So thank you so much for being a part of it, and thank you, Maria and Leila, for letting me share some of this exciting news.
Thank you, Sarah. And we know, and we heard the voices of cooperation circles around the world through the impact assessment that involving youth in interfaith cooperation and actions for peace inspires the community, gives the community more power and enthusiasm to do their work. And again, a small drop together with other very many drops is kind of a sea. So this is impressive. And also it is impressive the work for peace that many of our friends and cooperation circles, individual members around the world are doing. And we will learn a little bit more about that through Karen and Larissa.
Thank you, Maria, and thank you, Leila, for including us. For those of you who didn't click back on the globe when you came back, you can click back on the globe to get back to your room for translation. I see that Edgar was looking for the Spanish translation again.
Edgardo, Rosalía, para estar en la traducción, por favor, otra vez marquen en el mapita en la parte de abajo de sus pantallas. Wanda está allí para traducirles.
Thank you, Maria. Excellent. Okay, so wow, thank you guys. Thank you, Sarah, for teeing us up so beautifully to talk about the global campaign to end violence. I am so inspired by the work that young people did over the last, over the month. It wants me to confirm I'm speaking Spanish. I don't know why. I am so excited that you're putting together a pamphlet or some sort of publication with those letters, because I was like typing an email to you asking for that. So that's amazing. I love, love, love all of the hate speech or the posters that were made in the social media posters that were made in was it the second week of the challenge? I just feel like there's so much enthusiasm for the kind of work that URI does among the youth, and we need to harness that enthusiasm and learn from it. One of the things that we speak about when we talk about violence at URI is that violence is contagious, but those of you who have...
Let me ask Wanda. Wanda, please, can you unmute yourself? I think that people are not hearing your translation. You need to be with unmuted. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, Karen.
Okay, excellent. I'm not going to start over, but I'll just continue here. So I lost my train of thought, but oh yes, so we know that violence is contagious, but those of you who have been around me for a long time also know that one of the things I like to say is that the cure is also contagious. And so when we see these kinds of activities being done, and when we share these activities with the network and beyond and with our own personal networks, we can inspire similar actions by other people. And so that's what's so exciting about initiatives like this. And I really hope that that we don't wait for Sarah to organize another Youth Month challenge, but that it's just something we are thinking about all the time and encouraging within our CCs, and that we are doing ourselves. We don't need to wait to be organized by anybody. This is something that we have the power to do each and every day, as was mentioned both by Maria and Sarah and Layla already in this call. So you've heard probably about the global campaign to end violence, and I know that some people on this call have already signed up to be part of that. So maybe those who have signed up already to join the global campaign, if you can maybe just either put a heart up or something, yeah, show us that you're already in. Yeah, so we've talked about this a lot, but we're moving deliberately, slowly, because we want to really think through how to do this best. Plus, it's pretty ambitious to launch a global campaign. It's pretty daunting, right? But we really believe that we can do something good together, and it's going to contain many different parts. So I'm going to put a link in the chat so that if you haven't already signed up, you can sign up today to help us shape the global campaign. So we will be launching in the next week a survey for everybody who's joined the campaign, and we can then include you in that survey if you sign up today. And we'll be then using that survey to help figure out what are the different working groups we want to establish to help really co-create and design this campaign and to move it forward. So this is really just a plea for those of you who are interested to just join the campaign. We've got about 120 people who have already signed up, but we'd love to see that number increase. So share the link with your friends. Let's get a good, solid group of people to help launch this campaign properly and to help shape it. So that's my plea to you. Thank you for giving me the floor, Layla and Maria. And I look forward to seeing some of you on future calls.
Yes, thank you very much. And thank you, Sarah, for amazing work that you did with all these youth people, and Karen on your everyday efforts towards ending religiously motivated violence and all kind of violence that unfortunately we are surrendering. And when we have like this introduction, we will also already start discussing, and people were jumping with ideas what peace means to them, and somehow it come naturally like how we can achieve this peace. So I think that we are big family of the people who are so oriented, so action oriented, and already thinking what are some things that can be done. And maybe before moving to our next part, this can be a reminder for all of us if we are asking, okay, peace is so huge and it is so hard to achieve, and there is so many violence and negative things that is happening around us. So sometimes we have feeling that we are paralyzed. I think this is the right moment to remind ourselves that we can do a lot, and all this presentation that we just saw, incredible young people doing small things, but not small, very important and meaningful. And by piling up all these small things, they are creating big change. That in the end, it was like the letters that I saw some of them send, for example, to the president of USA, Joe Biden, and others. And this is huge. And then on another, with just simple few clicks, you can join the global campaign and help all of us shape it together and be the process of all of it and be the change that you want to see. So if you are still questioning how you can contribute and what you can do, I encourage you, as Sarah said, if you recognize some young faces on the videos, please follow up with them, get inspired, invite others in your community to do something similar. Maybe all of us can have like this challenge month that we can challenge ourselves to meet with our neighbors, to help somebody, to do some good things more towards peace. And then on the other side, definitely, let's all of us join this beautiful campaign towards the ending the violence, and let's co-create it together and see what can be done. So I just use this opportunity to remind myself and you to do so. And since this is community call and we want to understand what all of us can do, how we can understand peace and what can be done, we wanted again to provide you space in the smaller groups. We will be sending you this time for a little bit longer period of time in breakout groups where you will have chance again to meet other colleagues. So please first use opportunity to give space to everyone. If there will be new faces for you, to meet each other, to introduce yourself, to say where are you coming from, your affiliation, and then to respond to the question that Maria starts sharing into the chat, like what are some actions that we can take individually and collectively to contribute to the global cultures of peace. But there will be also other questions coming to your chat where you will be able to see. We would like to understand what are some challenges that you are facing in your communities when it comes to the building peace, but also there will be question regarding the some opportunities, what we are already doing in our communities and how we can contributing towards more peace. So we will be sending you into breakout groups. You will have question as you can, okay, there are some things coming to the chat, yes, but you will be also have question in a chat where you will be able to see and to respond to them. And then when we will come back to the bigger plenary, we will be able to respond to them. Here is our dear Wanda who is translating the question to the Spanish. So as you can see, like what are the biggest challenge in cultivating cultures of peace and how we can address them. Also, what are actions that can take individually and collectively to contribute to global culture of peace? And what are some of the positive things? So Maria, whenever you are ready, I think you can send us to the breakout groups for 20 minutes. And then I'm really looking forward when we will be back together to hear what were some of the discussion. And please, if you can appoint one person in a group just to take some notes, it will be great so that you can share it with us after, either in a chat or via email, because I'm not sure if we will have time to hear all the groups in a plenary.
So thank you, Leila. And before we go to the breakout rooms, a reminder. So we want to think of the things that we have done to create cultures of peace, justice, and healing, the challenges we faced. And we also want to inspire future. We want to move forward. What can we do? Again, locally and globally as a community. So I hope you enjoy your breakout rooms. Take your time, share ideas. And we know that, again, from the impact assessment, that one of the consequences of being together, of being in this global network, is inspiration. So when you are telling your story, please concentrate on those that can also be inspiration for others, so that we all stand up for peace and we all give a little bit and contribute to this base that we want to build. So see you after 20 minutes. So you have time to express yourselves. You are coming back. I hope the meeting was good and that you were able to think about the things that have gone well in building peace, the challenges you have faced, and what you are going to be doing in the future, inspiring each other so that we are more solid and credible and enthusiastic when we are working for peace. Leila.
Yes, thank you, Maria. And I was having such a great conversation in breakout groups. And when we were preparing the meeting and setting 20 minutes, I thought, oh, this will be so much time. I'm not sure what we will be talking about. And then Akidi was cut out in half of the sentence, and we didn't even touch so much the last question. So I really don't know how this time flies. Yes, Ambassador. To continue. Okay. Yeah, so I hope that you had great conversation in your groups as I had in mine, and I said I was sorry that we couldn't cover all the topics, even those 20 minutes seems to be a lot. Warm welcome to those who join us a little bit later. So I hope that you still find your group and that you were able to discuss and meet some new people into group. And the reminder for those who are using translation option to go back to the globe down on the screen and to use your preferences, either Hindi, English, or Spanish, if you would like to use a translation option, because when we come back from the breakout groups, then somehow translation option go back to the beginning and we need to choose again. So I'm sure that all of you had a lot of great discussion in your smaller groups, and we would like to bring your voice into the space and to hear what are some of the successful stories that you have shared among each other, what are some challenges, and moreover, what are some actions that we individually but also collectively can take to cultivate more peace and justice and healing in our communities, both in a local level and in a global one. So I want to open this space for any one of you who would like to share how was experience in the breakout groups, what did you learn, maybe something interesting that you hear from other colleagues, and if you would like to share more about the challenges, but also opportunities, some successful stories, and maybe actions that you would like to take. So whoever would like, you can raise your hand or you can just unmute yourself, and you are more than welcome to use this
Hi,
space. We
Leila.
are really looking forward. Yes.
Hi,
Who would like to say?
it's me, Nasir.
Okay, great. Please go ahead.
Hi, hi, Leila. It was interesting that this question was brought up because I think I mentioned something briefly the other day in our other session, and I think one key challenge that we're facing at the moment is that fact that we, like organizations like this, are fighting against the media. Because we are working really hard to try and build communities, to build love, to build a world that's tolerant. But I think sometimes I feel like our efforts are hindered by the media, because obviously the media has a much significant outreach, and they sort of have a lot of power, and often there isn't much mention about the positive things that are happening within communities. Most of the time we turn on the news or we whatever, we flick through the TV on different channels, we always see the negatives. And there are groups of individuals who are not active inquirers. I feel like if you are an active inquirer like myself, then you would sort of try and do your own research and find out, you understand that there is definitely a bigger picture. And for people who are not active inquirers, often what tends to happen is they look at what they see on the news and they religiously believe that. And I think that is, a really big issue. And I think going forward, it's going to be very difficult. But as part of organizations like this, we need to try and find working groups that can collaborate with the media to try and change the narrative. But I believe that will be very difficult because the media is huge compared to organizations like ours. And we are trying to work hard to grow organizations like this and interfaith groups. So I think that is one thing that I would mention.
It is true, and there's so much power and sometimes money and sometimes interests, political interest behind media, that is kind of a lot of power there, but we also have power because we are together. So it would be nice to hear from others. Thank you.
Yes, and yes, other voices are welcome. And yeah, definitely, Nasser, in our group, we were commenting the same. Power of fake news and lack of critical thinking and checking information. And yes, we need more HRI people everywhere coming together and exchanging and sharing more positive stories. And while we are waiting, some others to come up to share, thank you for those who are sharing in the chat and who were taking notes. It's highly appreciated, and we can use this as an inspiration. And I invite all of you to take a look at chat options, and also invite all of you who were telling that there is lack of positive stories present somewhere. We have our communication team, Akidi, on the call. Please feel free to reach out to her and other from our communication team and share these incredible positive stories from our community. Let's inspire each other. Let's share more positivity so that there can be more positive things, more inspirational stories, and more of your work present. So this is invitation for all of you to consider sharing it. And yeah, are there some other colleagues? I know that
And-
there were not enough time, but I'm sure there was so many interesting conversation happening in a smaller group. So
And Leila,
very
this is
eager
a
to
great
hear.
opportunity to invite our companions here to go to Facebook and find URI Global and click befriend, share the stories that are shared in our Facebook, also in our Instagram, URI Global, and LinkedIn, because
Exactly.
again, as you say, a lot of people look to these channels, this social media, and believe what is there. And sometimes this is full of hate. Let's disseminate good URI stories throughout social media so that we can have an impact there and respond to Nasir's call. And whom else can we hear? Who was inspired in the group? What actions do you think we could be doing in the future?
Shiv here, can I speak to it?
Of course, Shiv.
Yeah. See, we had a discussion, Neil. I was there with Neil and Ambe from Nigeria, and there was earlier Nelly from Congo. So I'm personally doing through social media my initiative, which I'm presently doing I have a YouTube channel through which I create content on humanity, spirituality, and mind. It's asking me to come from the language. So I'm doing my bit through already doing for last couple of years by creating content which basically works on humanity. So though I use different words, spirituality, but the whole idea is to integrate humanity for mental balance and social balance, which is basically lacking due to economical, social, different divides, religious divide, different social strata of the society. So I'm creating content for that, and I've also written 3 books, basically for social issues and for mind. That's what I'm doing. And my suggestion was that I'm thinking of going to different religious communities where I'm living in Pune, where I can speak to the preachers or the priest over there, where we can have a combined event for all the 3-4 religions in a community center. That's something which has occurred to me. I'll try and do that. And the second suggestion, as you mentioned that you're working through social media, which is Facebook page. How about creating YouTube, which is even a more powerful channel, which can actually do promote something. Even I can promote on my channel. I have 26,000 subscribers. If you want, I can promote some URI content on my channel also, and that's what I can offer.
Thank you. And it is great that you share that in the chat. And also I hear you, Shiv, is peace sometimes in some communities is defined as balance and harmony. So this balance that you are talking of is so important. Thank you. How do we reach that balance? How do we promote balance so that all of us are in peace? Any other comment? Any other inspirational message from the groups?
Our breakup room was good in sharing what people are doing in large groups within their community and how they have leadership in groups, working for peace and working for caring for the earth, restoration, and also some discussions on what smaller individual people can do, how everyone can make a difference in forming some new groups, and even in looking at each other with compassion or a smile. That simple things and big things are both needed and important. And it was just nice connecting with other people and making, feeling how everyone in the group wants peace and justice and compassion for each other. So thank you for that opportunity to meet people from many different situations.
Thank you, Stella. And as Karen said, right, good things are contagious. Compassion is contagious. Patience is contagious. Peace is contagious. And we need those that are caring, that are standing up individually or as a group. Thank you for sharing, Stella.
Yeah, and thank you for those of you who were sharing some resources like Alice and a chat, so that you can take a look about some other resources where you can find the news and read some more stories. And once again, as I said, there is an invitation for all of you to follow us. And there is another thing when we are discussing about action and activity, always asking ourselves what we can do, building on what we previously discussed, like let's connect with each other, let's build more spaces like this one, let's continue conversations, discussion, let's discuss about possible collaboration, and maybe let's start by following each other, liking, subscribing to the channels, and making more present on the social media, in the contrary toward this hate speech and the negative news. Since we have some more time, I think we can offer space for a few more voices. If some of you would like to share something interesting, either for breakout groups or something that come to your mind, listening to others that has been sharing so far. And especially when it comes to these like challenges and activities that maybe you would like to take. Yeah, I saw some of them unmuting, so please.
Yeah, Yamuna.
Yes.
I think Angie from our group, Angie got the notes, I think. But I would like to say individually we can do some simple activities together. All the children, elders, and young group together, we can make arrangement mindfulness meditation program, and vocally by mouth to mouth we can communicate with the people to stop the violence, or we can talk with each others about the peace, and also we can aware people how much important to the living peace, how we can together make those things we can do individually.
And Yamuna, thinking of your work with children and connecting with what Stella was saying and what Raphael shared in the chat, how important it is to be with children, listen to them, share your smile, make them feel loved, so that it's easier to grow strong, peaceful children than working with adolescents or adults to try to get them change their attitude. So what you do at the very beginning through your CC is amazing and such an inspiration. And I see Elizabeth there, and I know how much she cares about children in Syria. Why don't you tell us a little bit how you build peace from Austria to Syria? And that's a great story to share.
Thank you very much. Maybe my audio is not working well, so I work with a teacher, with Hassan Abu Ali. He's on the call as well, and he just started a new school time with 160 younger children, because the older one who got to learn reading and writing have to leave their space for the younger ones. But it's his experience that it's very difficult to change the minds of old people. But I think maybe the children, when they come back to their tent and talk to their grandparents, maybe this can help a bit to bring them new thoughts, because all the donors of the 3 years of helping them with food and trees and everything they need, the donors are all Christians and they are all Muslims. So I really hope that at least in this generation, nobody can tell them that Christians are so bad people, because they know better. They got to learn it through soup and ice cream and school things. So we prove with our work that our
We stopped hearing you, Elizabeth, but you are bringing something that is so important to URI, thinking of peace, that is interfaith, because we are doing enduring daily interfaith cooperation to bring peace. And this bridge that you are creating between Christians and Muslims through children, education, and through lollipops or ice creams is good. It's a small thing as the smile that Stella was talking, and making it something that speaks about peace. Any other comment before we close this meeting? Salet, please jump in.
Hello, nice people. I want to share with you the Third World March for Peace and Nonviolence. I put in the chat the link, and it will begin in next week on the 2nd of October, is the day of Gandhi. And it will be running many countries in the world until the 5th of January next year. So please look at this and do something in your space, in your home, in your city, for this March for Peace and Nonviolence. Thank you.
Thank you, Zalet. And when we think of Mahatma Gandhi as standing for nonviolence, we have other leaders in all religions, leaders that we follow in our country, that tell us, stop violence, just bring peace. And we think of Martin Luther King, we think about other leaders that have called us to stand up. Yes, here we are, stand up for peace. Let's join Karen's campaign and move forward. We are together in URI because we want to create cultures of peace, justice, and healing.
Yes, and we have Karishma who also raised her hand and would like to share something. So please, floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Elijah. Thank you, Maria. The only point that I really want to bring up is the aspect of intergenerational conversations. Because what I find today is that actually, as Elizabeth said, just sharing things, sharing food spaces, sharing workspaces, but conversing, not just without barriers, but with understanding and without any bias for youth or elders, helps access that part of the mind that is actually quite similar across age groups. Because the youth have different biases, the elders may have different biases. And I feel that really helps. That's all I wanted to share.
Thank you, and thank you really for bringing this important topic. And we are so often talking about intergenerational, not just interfaith and interreligious, but also intergenerational, bringing the wisdom of the older generation and experience, but also like the new ideas and the energy of the youth, and bringing it all together. And I think that we showed that on today's call. We had so amazing inputs and young people from the Youth Challenge, and so many wisdom from all our elderly people who are joining us on the call. And I see that Ambassador Mohammed also raised his hand, so we can give you extra minute and then we will come to the closing part. So yeah, floor is yours.
Okay, good morning all.
Good morning.
Good morning all. I'm Ambassador Jibril Muhammad Binji from Nigeria. I'm also the Executive Director of Frontiers for Peace and Advocate Foundation. It is my pleasure and honor to be here with you at this very important meeting. The discussion is very important so that to reduce the issue of the violence in our locality area. I could also give an honor and also thank to my auntie, Sarah. She also teach me about the issue of the four challenging. I gained my certificate last week. Also, I also there in my locality area to make sensitization and also the issue of to make a awareness about the issue of the insecurities. We organize a different town meeting with our security leaders, our traditional leaders, and religious leaders to tackle the issue of insecurity in our local region. It's my honor and pleasure to be here. Also, the issue of the climate changing is very important so that in our region, we have the issue of global warming. When we make a tree planting in different sides of the area, it's my honor also to thank the organizer of URI for involving me in this campaign about the issue of peace and justice in our region. Thank you so much.
And Mohammed, so important when we are talking about peace, as our indigenous sisters and brothers would underline, is peace not only with human beings, peace with nature. And that is why in URI we say with the earth and all living beings. So how caring nature is also bringing peace in the world. Thank you for reminding us that.
Exactly, and thank you all for sharing. And please continue this conversation. We have the limited time on this call, but there is so many opportunities, and we all use chat option so that you can stay in contact with each other and follow up each other. And just a reminder again, join the global campaign to end the violence that Karen shared with you. Share your successful stories with the Acadian communication team and look at your inboxes, because maybe soon you will be also receiving news about more learning opportunities coming from our corner of the world where there is like a lot of things happening in URI, and then you can join our peers and learn and discuss and also maybe start some conversation and collaboration together. And there will be also exciting news about your app, connecting app that will be coming soon also to your inboxes. So this is just some of the information for you that look forward to some more exciting things that are coming. And now when we are coming to the closure of our meeting, I would like to give floor to the Maria again.
Thank you. And imagine what a great thing it's going to be. And this is coming soon, to be able to connect through URI app and to learn about other, so as we did today, different initiatives, different things happening around the world, to receive training, to receive information, to be invited to events, and all in the one place. That's so great. We are so thankful for the learning and impact team who is making this possible. And you'll soon get news about the app. And if you get the email, please join and try to be in connection with other URI members, because connection and collaboration are basic to the work that we are doing. And because we want to keep connected and know what is good for you and what you need, and what type of meetings, gatherings, Zoom learning you want to have, let me invite you to go to the poll, respond these 4 easy questions so that we know how we can improve, what can we do to provide what you need, so that this community continues to be vibrant, active, inspired, working for peace, justice, and healing. So you will see that at the bottom of your screen, you have the possibility to respond these 4 questions. Take your time. Just click where you feel represents better how you feel today.
And please respond to each question and hit submit button in the end. Otherwise, we will be unable to receive your responses. So please respond to all 4 questions and then just submit it. in the end. And we will appreciate your responses, as Maria said, to make this meeting even more engaging and interesting in the future, inshallah.
And remember that individuals and cooperation circles in URI are part of the network and allowed to go and find the friend, the person that you feel could help you in your work, not necessarily passing through us, not necessarily passing through the regional coordinator. It's just go to the website, find a CC, you have something in common, write a message, go to Facebook, go to Instagram. Let's build this network because we believe that together we are stronger. I see some are responding questions. That's great. Whoa, close to all people are responding to the poll. That's super inspiring and helpful.
Yes,
Thank
this is so
for doing
exciting.
that.
And I just shared the join link in the chat in case that you know somebody who would like to join community beside becoming the CC. They can first become our individual members. So please spread the word, invite others to join us. And if some of you are still not our individual member, you can consider becoming one. So with easy click in a chat that you will find a link to, you can become our member, and please also invite others to join. As Maria said, connect with other like-minded people, and let's start with all these small things that we were discussing that will pile up and make the big change in the future.
Yes, because it's great for us to be part of URI, but I'm sure that many more people would be happy to be part of URI. And URI is so inclusive and open and inviting that you cannot say, well, I am URI and you are not URI. As even the name says, you are URI. Each of us is URI. And the more that we invite other people, the more the critic mass, the most people building peace and justice in the world. So please don't hesitate to invite others. Have, as young people did, right? Have a meal or a connection, or write a letter and invite someone else to join the campaign, to join URI as an individual member, as a cooperation circle. Look for another cooperation circle and connect and see what you have in common. I see from Nasreen, I'm happy to be part of URI, and this happiness is contagious. Again, let's make happiness and URI contagious in the world. May peace prevail on earth. May you be in peace. May we carry peace wherever we go, so that peace expands and takes the whole world.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us. Thank you, Salet, for taking photo of those of you who turn on your camera. If you would like, do so. Salet is eager to take the photo, and thank you to all of you for filling out the poll. There are some really nice results, so thank you for your feedback, and we hope that next time it will be even better call than this one.